Hello again, this is Dr. Keith Henry for another episode of the Quick Wellness News Nugget. It is an article that is from September the 8th, that's today, 2019, and it's from the website naturalhealth365.com. And if you haven't listened before, I'm a naturopathic practitioner, naturopathic doctor. And what I do is in this quick wellness news nugget, I take an article that came out during the day or the week, basically give my commentary on it, a quick commentary on the contents of that article. And this one is entitled "Vitamin D Supplementation Has Positive Impact on Common Thyroid Disorder. Clinical Study Reveals." The article starts off by asking a question. It says, first, I asked a few important questions, not one question, but a few important questions. And the article asks, are you overweight or obese? Do you spend a lot of time indoors and always slap on sunscreen when you go outside? And perhaps most importantly, do you live in a higher latitude location? And it says if you answer yes to any of the above questions, you're at a higher risk of vitamin D deficiency, which is estimated to affect at least 41% of Americans. In addition, another 20 million Americans are living with a thyroid disorder, and 60% of them don't even know it. So 20 million Americans, the article says, are living with a thyroid disorder, and the majority of those, more than 50%, 60%, don't even know it. They're not even aware yet. And the article asks the question, you may be wondering, what is the connection? And then it references a new study that reveals that something as simple as vitamin D supplementation can positively impact a common thyroid disorder, Hashimoto's disease, uh, according to this new study. Now the article goes on to talk a little bit more about the study, and it says that Hashimoto's thyroiditis, or Hashimoto's disease, is the most prevalent autoimmune disorder, and it affects 130 million people around the world. So, about 60 million in the U.S. and many more from around the world. It goes on to point out how it occurs when the thyroid is gradually attacked and destroyed by a person's own immune system. This is why it's called an autoimmune disease. When your immune system basically becomes confused and begins to destroy your particular organs in your body, and based upon the organ or system that it's destroying, that's where it gets its name from, basically. It goes on to point out how conventional treatment for Hashimoto's disease includes synthetic hormones, which can be expensive and riddled with short-term and long-term side effects. The article refers to a 2019 study published in May, that would be earlier this year, in the journal Hormone and Metabolic Research. And in it, it points out how a team of researchers set out to determine the effect of vitamin D supplementation on a group of women with Hashimoto's. They randomly, in this study, divided 42 women into an experimental group and control group. The experimental group received 50,000 international units of vitamin D weekly over the course of 3 months, or 12 weeks. The control group over the same period received a weekly placebo. By the end of the study, the researchers found that patients taking the vitamin D had a significant reduction in certain antibodies and hormones, which are normally elevated in Hashimoto's disease. So the authors rightly noted that they basically need further well-controlled large longitudinal studies to determine whether they can be introduced in clinical practice, but their data does give support to the notion that a safe, simple, natural vitamin D supplement may help manage this common and often debilitating disease. So again, uh, instead of waiting, because this is just one of the many studies that have been done on the benefits of vitamin D just for the body overall. So if I was in that situation, they're saying where further it may be necessary for further well-controlled studies to be done, which may be true. But in the meantime, given all of the studies that have been done on the benefits of the various areas of the body that vitamin D has brought, I would not say to wait until these studies are done. I would say go ahead and begin to supplement with a high quality form of vitamin D, and also to eat foods that are high in vitamin D, and and especially if you fall into one of those categories that the article asked in the beginning. Now, if you eat healthy and whatnot, and sometimes you have to remember too, if you're already deficient in a mineral or a vitamin, sometimes you may need to supplement for a short amount of time to bring levels up. Sometimes I had a friend of mine who had severe issues with his vitamin D levels, and they couldn't determine what was going on, and they found out he had a vitamin D deficiency. And even though he was eating foods high in vitamin D, because he was in a deficient state, the only way to bring his levels up to normal was to supplement for a short time. And so again, never, even if you're a healthy eater, don't just say, "Oh, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to take a supplement because I eat healthy." Remember, a lot of the foods that we're eating are nutritionally deficient unless you're growing your own food and eating a varied diet. You're probably not going to get all of the nutrients that you need. The article goes on to point out how research tells us that adding just one or two supplements to your lifestyle may not be enough to garner positive effects on your health. Vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients work synergistically, so it's in your best interest to investigate your specific needs and deficiencies and address them with a combination of quality supplements. Uh, and then the article points out how, for example, people with autoimmune dysfunction, this can include magnesium, vitamin B12, and selenium. It goes on to say further that we should keep in mind a vitamin D deficiency is that vitamin D deficiencies are incredibly common. It says at least 41% of Americans have them, as do 80% of African Americans and almost 70% of Latino Americans. So, given that vitamin D plays such a role in hundreds of biological processes, including, as we've seen, thyroid function, it makes sense that people should prioritize vitamin D in both their supplement routine and their diet. Now, it recommends eating foods like fish and eggs. As I am a vegan or plant-based naturopath, I don't recommend getting vitamin D from fish or eggs, but from other things that we eat. Well, it's an excellent article. It's from naturalhealth365.com if you want to go and read it yourself. This is Dr. Keith. Thank you for joining me again. So until the next episode of a quick natural news nugget, a quick wellness news nugget. Take care and goodbye.